Hi there, welcome to Nauctis on YouTube.
In the 1960s, the introduction of missiles with hypergolic propellants allowed for rapid launch because the fuel could be stored inside the missile. These liquid-fueled missile systems were then placed in underground silos. By the late 1960s, solid fuel systems were introduced, which were easier to move and launch. Since the 1960s, underground missile silos have remained the primary missile-based system and ground-based missile launch facility. However, the increasing accuracy of inertial guidance systems has made them more vulnerable compared to the 1960s. Apart from underground facilities, these ballistic missiles can be launched at any time from above-ground facilities or from mobile platforms such as transporter erector launchers, rail cars, ballistic missile submarines, and aircraft. Many countries possess missile silos, two of which are the United States and the Soviet Union. The United States has underground silos located in Colorado, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Missouri, Montana, Wyoming, and other western states. There are several reasons why the United States chose these locations. The first reason is to reduce the flight path between the United States and the Soviet Union, as missiles would travel north over Canada and the North Pole. The second is to increase the flight path or SLBMs on both coasts. And the third is to place clear targets as far away as possible from major population centers. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union also had missile silos in Russia and surrounding Soviet countries during the Cold War, such as the Plokstein missile base in Lithuania. The main missile attack warning center near Solnekh-Nogorsk outside Moscow was completed by the Soviet Union in 1971 and is still used by the Russian Federation. Of the many underground silos, we will discuss 5 underground silos in various regions of the world that will leave you in awe. Oplin Atlas Missile Base. The Oplin Atlas missile base was built to withstand a nuclear explosion in 1960. After its construction was completed in 1962, the Oplin Atlas missile base was active for the Cuban Missile Crisis and was used as a VIP site for important visitors to 𝗖𝗃𝗃𝗃 Air Force Base. The 12 Oplin Atlas ICBM silos were used for approximately 3 years before being deactivated. After deactivation, someone named Bruce Townsley purchased this missile base in 1997 and has lived there for 25 years since then. Townsley has renovated it to his liking by adding 2 bathrooms, a living room, and a full kitchen. He uses the lowest room for work purposes, and it's where all the equipment is stored. Townsley also keeps the original launch control console on that floor. Although underground, this silo has been renovated and equipped with comfortable supporting facilities. Minot Air Force Base Missile Silo. Minot is a city located in North Dakota, United States, which is home to the 91st Missile Wing of the United States Air Force. The tensions with North Korea have pushed this nuclear base to the forefront.
And go ahead.
The Minot Missile Base is located directly underground and provides 150 nuclear-tipped missiles, which, if launched, could destroy most of the world's population. Minot is just one of 3 land-based nuclear missile areas in the United States ready to strike on the President's orders. Inside this silo, there are 15 Minot nuclear missile bunkers, each responsible for 10 missiles. There is also a bunker capsule that was once used as a place for people to launch missiles from a depth of 70 feet underground. The Minot silo itself is located on a public road, but you may not notice it unless given a briefing by the tour guide. Inside this silo, there are 2 missiles on standby, always alert if the United States needs to launch its nuclear weapons. Right above the ground, or more precisely above the silo, there is a special facility in the form of a dining room and kitchen, complete with a chef ready to provide food for the military troops. Outside, there is a very strong satellite antenna, so we can reach it within 5 feet for fear of radiation. To reach the actual bunker capsule, there are more armed guards and 2 large concrete or steel blast doors, each weighing 11 and 8 tons, that require 9 turns of strong handle to open. Titan Missile Silo. This silo is located about 25 miles south of Tucson, Arizona, United States. The Titan Missile Silo was built in 1963 and deactivated in 1984. Before deactivation, this underground silo had a room with complete facilities, such as a 3-level launch control center, an 8-level silo containing the missile and related equipment, and connecting structures for cable runs, blast locks, and equipment elevators. The Titan Missile Silo is constructed of steel-reinforced concrete with 8-foot thick walls in some areas and a number of 3-ton blast doors close off various areas from the surface and each other. The top level of the silo allows a view of the silo door containing the missile. Level 3 houses large diesel generators. Level 7 provides access to the lowest part of the launch duct. Meanwhile, Level 8, at a depth of 140 feet underground, houses the propellant pumps. Inside, there is a 103-foot-long Titan II missile without a warhead or fuel. Now, the Titan Missile Silo has become the Titan Missile Museum, which also conducts underground tours including the control room, cable runs, silo, antenna tower, and much more. 𝗤𝘂𝗲𝗀𝗁𝗂 Missile Silo. Lastly, the 𝗤𝘂𝗲𝗀𝗁𝗂 Missile Silo was a Soviet Union underground missile base built near the village of 𝗤𝗂𝗃𝗃, 8.1 miles north of the sparsely populated Plongye near Lake 𝗤𝗃𝗃𝗃, Samogitia, Lithuania. It was the first Soviet nuclear missile base built to house the underground R-12 Dvina medium-range ballistic missiles. The construction of this silo began when the United States started building underground military bases in the late 1950s, prompting the Soviet Union to feel the need to maintain its military capabilities. Therefore, the Soviet Union began rapidly constructing underground military bases. The location of this Soviet missile base was designed to be accessible to all NATO members in Europe and Turkey. Moreover, the soil was easy to excavate and the local population was small. The 𝗤𝘂𝗃𝗃𝗃 Missile Silo was considered one of the Soviet Union's military secrets, which was only revealed by US reconnaissance in 1978. The base, which only began launching nuclear missiles after about 3 years of operation, had a network of tunnels and included 4 deep holes with depths between 27 and 34 meters, covered by removable concrete domes on rails within 30 minutes. Furthermore, the base could remain autonomous for 15 days or for 3 hours if tightly sealed. The electric fence around it usually had a power of up to 220 volts, with the possibility of raising the voltage to 1,700 volts if there was a warning. The active team at this base consisted of about 300 people, most of whom were military guards. After 12 years of operation, the 𝗤𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗃 missile silo was officially closed. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, this silo was abandoned and not maintained. However, the former nuclear base location underwent a major reconstruction in 2012. Now, the nuclear base has been transformed into a Cold War museum, offering an exciting facility in the form of a tour to one of the 4 silos there. The museum also displays various interesting collections such as missiles and their internal systems, and other military equipment used by the Eastern Bloc and NATO during the Cold War.